Well, I want to welcome everybody to today's executive call. My name is Marty Flanagan, Vice President of Franchising with Code Ninjas, and I'll be your host for today's call. I wanted to be sure that everybody had a good idea of what today's agenda is going to be. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to learn more about Code Ninjas. We provide these learning channels for you, like our Discovery Day, like today's executive call. We want to be able to give you all the information you need to make the right decision for you as an entrepreneur and give you some insights on Code Ninjas and where we are kind of month to date. Today's call, we're going to touch a little bit about our history, the founder of the company, the team, our curriculum, what our next steps look like, and give you a little bit of an update on just overall where we're at for the year with Code Ninjas and the true validation we've been receiving from the marketplace and from entrepreneurs like yourself. Here at Code Ninjas, we firmly believe in our statement, our mission, which is kids have fun, parents see results. We focus on that. That is the foundation of where we're going. We want kids to be the best critical thinkers and problem solvers they can be, and by having fun and teaching them how to code all at the same time through Code Ninjas' proprietary curriculum blend that we have, we want parents to see results. We need parents to be engaged in what their son or their daughter is learning by being a part of Code Ninjas and them seeing the results of their time and effort and energy and their resources to drop their son or daughter off and be a part of Code Ninjas. So give you a little bit of a backdrop, a little story about Code Ninjas. David Graham, the founder of the company, he spent the last 20, 25 years being a coder, being a developer, and he himself has obviously received the direct results of being a coder, of being a developer, a programmer. On top of that, David Graham is also an entrepreneur. So when it comes to understanding Code Ninjas and where we come from, it's really getting a good idea of what David Graham was doing before this, which was obviously being that coder, being that developer, being that entrepreneur. But he ran a company called Coder Camps that taught adults how to code. So we brought adults that didn't have any experience, and we brought them into the world of being a coder and a programmer. And that program, that school, which was very successful with a 96% placement rate for the students that passed through it, that was sold a couple of years ago. And that team that was there, and David Graham received really the questions that they would get over and over and over again was, how do my kids get involved? What can my kids do with this? How can I get my son or my daughter involved in learning more about this? And that really is where it all kind of started. David Graham, having two sons himself, really started to explore the market and look at what was out there that brought kids into this world, not just in the world of coding, but what was helping them be great critical thinkers, great problem solvers. And he was surprised to see out there that there just was insufficient amount of resources and just the lack of education and the lack of practice and in consistency in a curriculum. And we are a game-based curriculum. So as he went out there and he decided to form Code Ninjas after departing and selling from Coder Camps, he was on the hunt for professors, those who were great in their own lane with inside whatever they were doing, whether it's franchising, compliance, support, operations, the development side of what we do. And as that team came together, we decided to release as a company, as our brand, as a franchise in 2017. And we've had great results since then. We are approaching our 100th franchise agreement signed and sold territory. To accomplish 100 within the first year of us being a franchise is very validating for us. As we sat down last year and we talked about our goals for 2017, we thought 20. If we could just reach 20, that would be really validating and exciting for us as a team. And to think that we're hitting this, we're going to be reaching 100 by the end of next week for our first year of doing business is really, really exciting. We're set for that kind of growth. We are prepared for growth and to support our franchisees. So we're very excited to be reaching that 100 marker within our first year. Very validating, very energizing for us as a team. Our curriculum is only part of our program. We are a whole package system. We started this as a franchise. We weren't a mom and pop shop that decided to become a franchise, which there's nothing wrong with that, but we chose from day one that we were going to be a franchise. And that comes from David Graham being a part of a franchise in the past and seeing the benefit of that and wanting to duplicate that if possible, and which we are doing. So we built as a franchise. So everything that we do is, and the partners that we have are rooted in franchising. So we are connected to individuals that, if you want to say, quote unquote, speak franchisee. And that's really important to know because they understand your perspective, they understand where you're at as an entrepreneur, and they understand us as a franchisor and the direction we're going. So being that said, that we did everything we have built is around that idea of being a franchise. So when we look at our internal operating system that you're going to use on a daily basis inside your Code Ninjas is built for Code Ninjas. Our curriculum, our proprietary blended curriculum, we have 9 belts. And this is really what differentiates us, not just our overall packaging, but our curriculum, which separates us apart from really any sort of competition out there, is we have 9 belts. And within those 9 belts, that's a proprietary curriculum blend. And for an example, inside of each belt, there's a learned set of skills. Once our students learn those certain set of skills, they have to build a game that require them to use those skills, which then allows them to progress to the next belt. So as they're in the white belt, they learn a certain set of skills. Once those skills are learned, that enables them to build a game that is designed around just those skills, and then therefore they're able to progress. So those belts, embedded into there is all of our proprietary game development platform, the games that are specifically built for those learned set of skills. That's what we call our tuition, our monthly drop-in program, the monthly tuition-paying program. We do not do sessions. We do not do classes. What we do is drop-in only on that program. So mom and dad can come in at their convenience, drop their son or their daughter off. They can stay for, if they only have 15 minutes, they can stay for 15 minutes. They can stay for up to 60 minutes. And they can come into up to 2 times a week. And that program is a flat rate per month. Mom and dad can stay at the center. They can leave if they would like. It's a very comfortable parent waiting room. So that curriculum that we have, that proprietary blend, also incorporates an exclusive and proprietary robotics program. So they're getting their hands on more than just a keyboard. So when it comes to our curriculum itself, we always like to say it's 100% complete, but it's never finished. We are constantly sharpening our curriculum, constantly being on top of it to be sure that we are at the tip of the spear in the industry and what kids are learning, and everything is relevant to real life. It's not some made-up language. It is actually the language is very relevant to real life and what's on the marketplace. When you think about how the growth and the validating that's come, it's also reflected inside of our centers and the attention that they're getting from the local community. So it's not just entrepreneurs who see this as an opportunity, but it's also directly reflected inside of our centers who are getting, obviously a tremendous amount of interest in when our center is going to be opening or inquires more about the program, how it works. And our mission stays the same. We focus on kids having fun and parents seeing results. That is one of our main drivers as a team, is to be sure that everything stays fun for our kids and parents can stay engaged with inside of our entire program. So as we go through the curriculum, the growth side of it, make sure any questions you may have, jot them down, because at the end of today's call, we have our favorite part, which is our Q&A section. That Q&A section, you're able to ask any questions that you might have. Typically, the Q&A section lasts a lot longer than this introduction and this insight part of the call. The Q&A section usually lasts anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes of you asking questions. So if anything comes up, please write it down, and then when we get to the Q&A section, it'll prompt you to hit *6, and when you hit *6, that will virtually raise your hand, and I will be able to call on you, and you'll be able to ask your question. So when you think of the growth and how truly the last 7 months we sold our first franchise in April, and to be reaching that 100 marker by the end of the year, our franchisees, collaboration is really a part of our DNA as a company. So we immediately get you connected with all your franchisees, and you're connecting with one another. And really that's how a lot of that organic growth happens, and why we're not having to go out there and use portals and use brokers. It is a lot of word of mouth and a lot of individuals that are connecting with us from other franchisees that are currently in our system. So when you think about all this wonderful stuff, if you've connected with Jeff or you've connected with myself, and we've kind of gone down this way, gone down this road a little bit, understanding what your next steps, we are very, very clear on how this process works, and we meet you where you're at. So when you think of the next steps with Code Ninjas, we are here to take you all the way through, whether it's you want to be rocking and rolling within 30 days, or if it's a process for you to be making a decision because you need a certain amount of data. I've been working with people for 7 months, 6 months, 2 weeks. It really comes down to your speed, and when you want to get moving, we do some specific marketing in different areas. We're not blanketing the entire U.S. Some of you maybe have seen us or reached us or found us organically. Some of you maybe by some of our targeted marketing. So as we kind of move forward, understanding just those next steps, it would really be just connecting with Jeff or I. You can ask questions today. We can help you out. It's a very clear process. Being that we built this as a franchise from day one, we have a clear path to becoming a franchisee and a very clear path after you become a franchisee to opening your center, operating it, running it on a daily basis. Support is the backbone of every great franchise. And we have basically 3 pillars to our support, which is we have person-to-person support, so you're actually working with an individual. We have a compliance support person, and we have an operational support person that you work with. And those are dedicated people to your compliance and your daily operations. We have online resource for you, which we call Code Ninja University. And it's like a wiki doc. It's constantly being reformed, constantly being sharpened. And that's broken up into multiple different categories that are focused around you running your center on a regular basis, whether you're an on-site owner-operator or you're an off-site owner. These tools are there for you and your team to be able to run your Code Ninjas effectively every day. And then there's obviously a collaboration tool. We built collaboration tools into our system from day one so that you're able to connect with all the Code Ninja franchisees and locations all over the country. We like to focus on 2 main things through our entire system, which is growth and culture. We want you to focus half of your day on growth and half of your day on culture, and our entire support system works in conjunction with that. So like I said, our discovery days are also another learning channel. To touch on that really quick, discovery days are not the checkout day. We like to make that clear right away. Discovery days are designed for you to they're by invitation only. They're not focused on, I want to come check you out and see what you're all about. No, that's what these calls are for. That's what our one-on-one stuff is for. When it comes to discovery days, those are by invitation only. We only invite a handful of people to each discovery day to keep it more personal and more focused on what you need to put in place for you to be able to make this kind of final decision to move forward with Code Ninjas or to not move forward with Code Ninjas. So what I'd like to do is kind of open up the lines now to our Q&A part of it, of our call. And this section, again, is where you would hit *6 if you have any questions regarding Code Ninjas and our system, our processes, who we are as a company, our goals for the future. No question is really off the table. If I can legally answer it, I will answer it for you. And this time is dedicated to you to be able to ask all your questions that you might have. And again, that would be hitting *6. That virtually raises your hand. When you virtually raise your hand, I'll be able to call on you and you'll be able to ask your question. Great, we have a question already. Wonderful. Hi, you have a question?
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Yeah, just one quick question. You mentioned that in the curriculum you have the different belts and parents, you have the drop-in program. Are the instructions one-on-one, or is there a class? One of the things I'm trying to understand is hours of operation. How many instructors do you need? Any insight that you can add to that?
Sure. Yeah. So we run an 8-to-1 ratio, 8 students to 1 sensei. Our curriculum is designed in such a way, and how we orientate our students is they know. We have proprietary textbooks that go along with it, so they're able to know what lesson they need to do, where they're at, and the dashboard, right, the virtual dojo that they would enter and that they use tracks everything for them in their progress. So when they sit down to do their lesson, we coach your team how to teach and coach the Code Ninjas curriculum. So you don't have to hire programmers or developers. We have a pretty duplicatable process that allows you to go after a little bit of a younger generation that is experienced maybe in more of like the computer science and maybe robotics programs that are in the community. So 8-to-1 ratio. We have the reporting system so you can track your traffic and that's coming into the center, so you know when you would need to staff properly for individuals. And also we have a pretty successful on-call program, so some of our senseis, they know to be on call, so if we need them, we can call them and they come in if needed. Does that answer your question?
Yes. So people have to sign up then. I mean, I had my kids go to karate school, so I'm familiar with that system. But in that system, you had to sign up for, I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at 4 p.m. That's the program you sign up for. Is it the same kind of thing here?
Well, no, because those are classes. Karate studios don't have you go in and just kind of start kicking a bag, right? There's actually a class that they have to go to. We don't have classes. We don't have sessions. So they can come in at their convenience. They don't have to sign up for a certain time slot. And the system tracks it, and they understand, mom and dad understand, get orientated. So when they come in, they know everything is tracked internally with time. So the sensei, the center director, and the parents know what kind of timeline they're on. But there's no classes, so they can come in at their convenience. They don't have to sign up for everything. They don't have to pre-register for anything. They come in at their convenience. And having that model really waters down the traffic. So you're not getting 30, 40 kids showing up at one time.
But then you'll end up in situations where it could be one-on-one, right? If the kid shows up and there's nobody there and the sensei is there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, very well could be, because you're going to have a sensei there. So if only one person shows up and your part-time sensei is there, then it would be one-on-one.
I see. So the 8-to-1 ratio you were referring to is how many people in your program overall versus how many senseis?
Yeah, so if you have 8 students in your center, you would want to have at least one sensei there to assist those 8.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Thanks for your question. Hi, you have a question?
Yes, hi, my name is Syed. My apologies, I just got into this presentation actually, and I'm just trying to learn your franchisee, to be honest with you. I come with a background of IT myself in 15 plus years. I live in California, and I was interested in introducing this concept here in California. My question is, how this franchise is different compared to Kuman or any other things that is out there today that is supporting after-school programs? Are we just focusing primarily on the computer programming part, or we are also going to do some other activities along with this?
So one thing I would suggest is, being that you missed this call and it sounds like you haven't really connected with myself or Jeff Thames, I would suggest doing that to be able to get better insight on who we are, or even going to our website and understanding what we do. We teach kids how to code through a game-based curriculum. That curriculum lasts 3 to 4 years. If the student was to come in and start at the white belt, it would be about a 3 to 4 year timeline to complete our program. So what I would suggest that you do, and we are 7 to 14 years old. Obviously, Kumon doesn't teach kids how to code. Mathnasium doesn't do that. Huntington's, they don't do that. So we're a single source curriculum. So I would suggest that to dig in more and learn more about who we are, you can listen to our past calls, or you can jump on the phone with myself or Jeff Thames, and we can walk you through more detail.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
I think it makes more sense. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Hi, you have a question?
Yeah, kind of talking about partnerships in the communities that you guys are currently in. I know it sounds more of like a B2C or B to parent basically, but do you guys partner with the local parochial schools or local schools in the school district, or is there anything that you guys do that has seen success in those communities?
I think in just the overall tutoring world, I mean, whenever you can connect with a school or any kind of a co-op or school in general, just to be able to inform the teachers and the staff on what you do, I think it's only going to benefit your program. When it comes to what we're doing currently, we have not had the need to go out and connect with schools. We do work with inside some schools that allow us to do some marketing for our after-school program. We just started at our center in Pearland. So we have had success in terms of schools allowing us to do some marketing, but we haven't really had to do much of the teaming up part of it, just because we've been pretty busy and haven't really had the time to go dig in with the schools.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Hi, you have a question? Hello, do you have a question?
Hi, Marty. This is Carlo from Chicago. I remember that you mentioned that that your organization was only planning 20 stores for the year, but that you had reached 100. And
close. Yep, we're just a couple away. Yes.
Yes, and you had mentioned previously that we would be provided a support person if
Correct.
we signed up for our franchise, if ever. So how has that worked out, given the fact that your growth targets have almost been exceeded by 5 times? Do you still have that level of support that is needed? Are you guys comfortable with that?
Very, very comfortable with that. So we were prepared. We saw our growth happening in 2018 to really kind of go through the roof. So we started planning in 2017. We didn't wait to react to our growth. We were like, hey, let's plan for 2018 right now and get the support structure in place so that we are able to handle that growth and be ready to rock and roll in 2018. We were just fortunate enough to have some great people that we're connected with, that were inside of our network, and get them on board early, and that allowed us to handle all the growth that we're facing right now.
Okay, yeah, because it's always a concern. I've had some businesses before where I couldn't get to anybody because they were all swamped with a heavy workload. So that's why I asked that question.
Well, support is the backbone of every great franchise. And as soon as the support structure leaves and people don't get back to you and you don't have the resources you need, that's when the culture of a franchise absolutely dies, when the support structure is not there to be able to answer your questions. And that's some of the things why we put in Code Ninja University and spent a lot of time on that, that document, which is, hundreds of pages long, but it's also got all of the files, everything in there that you're going to need if you're a daily operation. So not just having just one person to connect with, but you actually have 2 people to connect with: compliance, operation. You also obviously have our online resource called Code Ninja University, which is all about your day-to-day operations. And we have that collaboration tool. So we kind of have a solid foundation that allows you to reach out to either you can ask the headquarters questions through our collaboration tools, you can ask franchisee the questions, and you can go to our online resource. It might be in there, and you have support people you can connect with. There's no lack of a reaching out. And one thing you could do as you go down this road is we'd love to connect you with our franchisees. And one of the things you could do is also connect some of our franchisees and ask them how they feel about us responding back to them and what that looks like. I mean, it's mobile device, it's on our computer. If franchisees are asking questions, we're there for them. If they can't be reached via phone, we're there for them immediately through our tools that we have.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Hi, you have a question? Hello, do you have a question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Yes.
What are the qualifications for these senseis, and how much support, not in terms just of training, are there proprietary programs, software or hardware or whatever that a franchisee would have to buy from you? But primarily, what are the qualifications of these senseis?
Well, we work directly with you. We actually started using with adults, and it just really didn't work because our part-time senseis, we started hiring programmers and developers because that was our network. And we changed that, and we went to the local community college, the local high school, connected with the computer science teachers, robotics groups, and we wanted to create a position that fed their future career. And a lot of part-time jobs that high school and early college students get do not feed their future career. And Code Ninjas is positioned very uniquely because these kids do want to be programmers and coders, and working inside of Code Ninjas to be able to teach kids how to code through a game-based curriculum, they can put that on their college application. They have to do our curriculum. They have to work with our kids. I mean, so they're getting obviously a lot of insight, a lot of coaching and development with working with these kids, but specific qualifications, we work with you directly when you become a franchisee to help you identify those people in your market. And we have yet to have one franchisee or the some of our up-and-coming franchisees and our center, we have yet to have a hard time finding good, qualified, late teen, early 20. They're falling over each other. They're fighting to get hours at our center because it's a fun environment, and they're doing what they already love to do. That feeds their future career. Very unique position to be in.
And
nice.
Are they like full-time not full-time employees? There must be like no benefits, just part-time.
Part-time employees. Yep, part-time hourly employees.
Hourly employees. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Hi, you have a question?
Hi, this is Nitin here from New Jersey, Marty. A quick question for you.
Yes.
So if the kids are coming and learning on their own on the laptop or the desktop there, right? And the sensei is not teaching, sensei is just supporting them, right? So is it self-enabled on the product which is being offered by Code Ninja, the software which is offered by Code Ninja? Or
this is not a self-taught program, so I just want to kind of correct that. It's self-paced, not self-taught. The senseis are teaching. They are working with them, not just, coaching is teaching. Coaching is educating. So when we use the term, with our senseis, they're not just sitting back and encouraging people. They are teaching. They are showing how to do it. Kids will get stuck. They do get stuck. They do need help. They do need to be taught. It's not a self-taught program. It's a self-paced program.
Okay, sounds good. That helps. The other question I have, Marty, is on the financial strength of the Code Ninja itself, given that now you have grown from 20 to 100 in no time. It's just 8-9 months old, started in March. So just wanted to understand, the financial strength and everything from the franchisee point of view. I don't know if the question makes sense, but
well, financial strength, I think you're more or less referring to like how our centers are performing financially. And the data that I can only give you is what's in our FDD. So in franchising, I only can share financial data that we have inside of our item 19 inside of our FDD. I'm not able to share up-to-date information. At the end of March of 2018, all franchises across the country have to renew their FDD, and when we do that, we'll be able to put more updated information into the item 19 for those who need more data to make a decision. So currently, we only had about 54 days. We've kind of pushed it to the last day under our belt of business and of this year so that we could actually put in the FDD. So inside the FDD, that 54 days of business and what it shows you is just over $32,000 in revenue that was created. We had 68 kids enrolled into our program, and we averaged around $190 per month per tuition-paying student. Now, obviously, our numbers have gone up since then, but I can't share you with exact data until our new FDD.
But can you just tell me the approximate number of kids now you have, if you can share that, if it is?
No, I can't share anything that alludes to revenue. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Marty.
All right, thank you. Okay, well, it looks like we don't have any more questions, so I want to thank everybody for joining our call today. We do these calls every Friday, and we love our question and answer segment. So feel free to ask as many questions as you like. And for when you think of the next steps with Code Ninjas, you need to connect with Jeff Thames or myself. My email address is marty@codeninjas.com. If you would like to find out what it would take to come to a Discovery Day, if you want to dig in further and ask more detailed questions, please feel free to reach out at any time. I want to say thanks again for attending today's call, and we look forward to talking with you and connecting with you in the future.